Hello, preschool friends. I miss you. I hope you're all doing well. I'm going to read you a story today. It's not a story, actually. It's called a nonfiction book, which means that it's real. Most stories are fiction, meaning they're pretend. This one is going to tell us real things about a koala is not a bear. Exclamation point. There's a picture. I'm trying to not get the reflection on the window there. There we go. Mama and baby. This book is written by Hannelore, Sotzek, and Bobbie Kalman. There's a picture. Look at the claws on the koala. They're very long and sharp because koalas live up high in the trees, and this helps them hold on. This is called a table of contents. It tells us what's going to be in this book. In fact, it says what is in this book? Question mark. And it's going to tell us what we're going to read about and where we can find it. So we're going to read about the koala on this page. What number is that? I hope you said 5. Oh, wait. Tell me how you make a 5. Do you remember? I'll get it really close, see if we can do it together. Go across, take a dive, make a big belly. That's a 5. I hope you're laughing. We're reading about the koala, and there is page 5. Koalas are mammals. Mammals are covered with fur or hair. Most baby mammals stay inside their mother's body until they are born. A mammal mother nurses her baby. She feeds it milk from her body. Koalas are marsupials. Now let me stop for a second and tell you that you are a mammal. You have hair and you drank milk when you were born. But you are not a marsupial. Let's see if you can figure out why. A marsupial is a type of mammal. Most female marsupials have a pouch on their body. A marsupial baby lives inside its mother only for a short while. It is very small when it's born. The baby finishes growing in its mother's pouch or on her body. Did you figure out why you're not a marsupial? Because human mothers don't have a pouch. See if you can guess another animal that's a marsupial. Were you guessing any of these? I hope you guessed a kangaroo. Marsupial family. Koalas are part of our marsupial family. Marsupials differ in size and shape. One of the smallest is the narrow-nosed planigale. Here's that narrow-nosed planigale. The red kangaroo is among the largest and can be as tall as a grown person. Here he is, the red kangaroo. They're about 6 feet tall. Some marsupials, such as the spotted couscous, live in trees. The couscous holds on to branches with its tail. Here you can see the couscous holding on with its tail. And another marsupial, the common wombat, is a burrower. Burrowers? That's kind of funny to say. Burrowers dig holes and live underground. Here's the wombat. There's only one koala species, but there are 3 subspecies. That's this page here. Victoria, New South Wales, and Queensland koalas. So here's the Victoria koala. Here's the New South Wales koala. And this one is the Queensland koala. Victoria koalas and New South Wales koalas are also known as southern koalas. Queensland koalas are northern koalas. So southern means south, northern means north. So when you're looking at a globe, south is where Antarctica are, and north is where the Arctic is. So we're just talking about north and south of Australia, and it's going to show us that next. The southern koalas are almost twice as big as the northern ones. We're going to look at page 10 and see where they live. But look at this Queensland koala. She's a northern one, or he. And she looks a little bit smaller than these two that live in the southern part. Page 10. Ooh, not a bear. Well, here's a picture of a bear. We have bears here in America. We even have bears in Michigan. Many people think koalas are bears because they can climb trees. They have thick fur coat, and they are chubby looking koalas. They are chubby looking, period. Koalas are not bears. Both bears and koalas are mammals, but only the koala is a marsupial. So what does that mean about the bear? If the bear is a mammal but not a marsupial, what does the bear not have that the koala does? Do you remember what a koala has and a kangaroo and those other marsupials? A pouch. Bears have a layer of fat underneath their skin to help keep their body warm, but the koala has only its thick fur coat to keep it warm. Southern koalas have longer, thicker, and darker fur because they live in cooler temperatures than the northern koalas. Look at the koala's hand in this picture. Can you count how many fingers that is? See, 1, 2, 3. Look at your hand. Make a fist. How many fingers do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're not counting the thumb right now. Just when you make a fist, how many fingers do you see? Where do koalas live? This is a map of Australia. Koalas live in forests along the east coast of Australia. Northern koalas live in Queensland. Southern koalas can be found in New South Wales, Victoria, and South Australia. So here's Queensland, and that's where those smaller northern koalas live. And then in New South Wales and South Australia, you'll have the larger koalas. So this green square is telling us green is the koalas' habitats. Do you remember what a habitat is? It's the environment an animal lives in. The koala is an arboreal animal. Arboreal means living in trees. Koalas live, eat, and sleep in the top branches of eucalyptus trees, also known as gum trees. Way up high. A koala's body. Ooh, I'm excited. You get to see their hand on this one. A koala's body may look big and heavy, but it is well suited to living high up in the trees. The koala is very muscular. It uses its strong muscles to climb trees and hold on to branches. This little box says a thick fur coat helps keep the koalas warm when chilly breezes blow through the trees. The fur grows close together, keeping the skin dry. The tail is small and stumpy, so it does not get in the way when the koala is resting on branches. This box up here, there's a picture there of the baby koala climbing out of its mama's pouch. A koala's pouch opens to the rear. A special muscle controls the opening. When a mother tightens the muscle, the pouch closes. Her baby is kept safe inside the pouch and cannot fall out. The koala has 2 thumbs. Ooh, look at your hand. How many thumbs do you have? You should have 4 fingers. We counted them when we made a fist. But then you've got 1 thumb. Well, a koala has 1, 2, 3 fingers and 1, 2 thumbs on its front paw. They help grip branches. The sharp, curved claws on all 4 paws dig into branches. The toes on the back paws are spread far apart to wrap around the boughs. That's another name for a branch. Padding on the bottom of each paw stops the koala from slipping. What's different about the back paw and the front paw? Let's count how many thumbs are on the front one. 1, 2. And how many on the back one? Just 1. And it doesn't have a claw on it. Let's count the fingers on the front paw. 1, 2, 3. Now how many are on the front? Well, that's tricky. These 2 are joined together and they have 2 claws. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 on the back. Interesting. So they have 5 on both the front and the back, but they're shaped differently. Or organized differently. What do koalas eat? We read that on a different page. Do you remember? Do you remember what koalas eat? They live high up in a certain kind of tree. It was a eucalyptus tree or a gum tree, but it doesn't have gum that you can chew and blow. Koalas are herbivores. An herbivore eats grasses, leaves, and fruit. Koalas eat mainly the leaves of eucalyptus trees, but they also eat cherry and tea tree leaves from time to time. Sometimes koalas lick the ground. They may do this to get the salt and minerals their bodies need to stay healthy. Eucalyptus leaves do not contain salt or enough minerals. I'm reading this page over here. Some eucalyptus trees have poison in their new leaves. The sensitive nose of the koala can smell which leaves are safe to eat. Only a koala can tell the difference between the safe and poisonous eucalyptus leaves. He's sniffing them. In the trees. Living high in the trees helps protect koalas. The leaves hide them from eagles and owls that swoop down and prey on them. Predators that live on the ground, such as wild dogs, cannot reach the koalas. Trees also shelter koalas from rain and the hot sun. The koala is one of the few arboreal marsupials that do not build a nest. When a koala sleeps, it holds onto a bough or wedges itself between the branches so it will not fall. Can you think of an animal that we learned about this year that does make a nest in the trees? Besides a bird, think of a mammal that makes a nest in the tree, and we call that nest... Uh-oh, I just forgot. What do we call that nest? I need Mrs. Schneider. I don't remember. They have a cache in the ground where they collect their food. Are you thinking of it? You're probably yelling it at me right now and I can't hear you. A dray. Yes. Who lives in a dray in the trees? A squirrel. Yep. But a koala does not make a nest. Koalas are expert climbers. To climb, a koala reaches with its front paws and digs its claws into the bark of the tree trunk. It then pulls itself up by its front legs while hopping with its back legs. Sometimes koalas leap from branch to branch, or even from tree to tree. That koala does not look like it's leaping or hopping anywhere right now, does it? It's very sleepy. On the ground. Koalas seldom leave the trees and go down to the ground. When they do, it is to move to a tree that is too far to reach by jumping. The koala walks on all fours. It says all four legs. It is slow and awkward because its body is not suited to move on the ground. When a koala is threatened by enemies such as dingoes, shown left, it can run short distances to a nearby tree. Sometimes koalas have to cross a road to reach another tree. They must watch out for cars. Since koalas move mostly at night, it is difficult for drivers to see them. This sign is a road sign you would see in Australia. It says Koala Crossing. We have some signs here on the roads that have a big mammal on them that has antlers. Do you know what it is? What signs do we see to watch out for? If you said deer, you're right. Living alone. Ooh, look at his teeth, his bottom teeth. Koalas prefer to live alone. They are seldom friendly to one another. Sometimes more than one koala lives in a single tree, but each animal stays on its own branch. Mothers and babies are the only koalas that spend much time together. Koalas make sounds and gestures to show how they feel. Even though they may look calm and cuddly, koalas can be noisy and nasty. Angry koalas often scratch or bite anyone or anything that bothers them. When a koala is hurt or feels afraid, it lets out a wail that sounds like a crying baby. If you try touching a wild koala, it may scream. Male koalas sometimes make a bellowing sound to attract females. I went to Australia many years ago. It was my childhood dream. And after I graduated college, I got to go, and I got to hold a little baby koala. And this might surprise you, but they're not as soft as a kangaroo. The kangaroo is softer than the koala. But here's something that I thought was really cool. What sound does a koala make?
I found this on the web.
I'm using my phone so we can search for the sound of a koala. Oh, so much glare. Do they sound like a pig? I'll see if I can make it big. So silly. Turn. They're cuter than they sound. Koala babies. A baby koala is called a joey. Most mother koalas give birth to only one joey at a time. 2 joeys are difficult to care for in the high treetops. When a koala is born, it is about the size of a kidney bean. It cannot see or hear. A kidney bean is about the size of my pinky fingernail there. Not very big. It cannot see or hear and does not have fur. The baby's front legs are fully formed, but its back legs still need to grow. Using only its front legs and paws, the newborn koala pulls itself along its mother's fur and makes the long journey to her pouch. Inside the pouch, the joey attaches itself to a nipple that provides it with nourishing milk. After 6 months, After 6 months, its mother's body makes a new food, a slimy liquid called pap. Pap contains bits of eucalyptus leaves. The young koala licks the pap and learns to like the taste of eucalyptus. Its body gets used to digesting solid food. About 6 months after the joey is born, its eyes open. It's now ready to see and explore the world outside. The joey leaves the pouch for a short time, but it hangs on to its mother's chest or back. So we have a photograph here of it hanging onto its mother's chest and a illustration or drawing of it hanging onto its mama's back. The pouch. Look at that cutie pie. The koala's pouch is useful for living in trees. It holds a baby koala so the mother can use both hands for climbing. The pouch also allows a mother to take her baby along while she looks for food. The joey uses the pouch as a safe place to rest when it's too tired to cling to its mother. The pouch hides a baby koala from animals that may want to eat it. It also keeps the joey warm when the weather is cool. So lots of cool things about the pouch. Koala facts. Ooh. Koalas are nocturnal. I'm trying to read backwards and it's not working. They are most active at night. During the day, koalas rest because it's too hot for them to move around. Koalas drink very little water. In fact, koala is an Aboriginal word that means no drink. Koalas get most of the water they need from the moisture in the eucalyptus trees or leaves, but sometimes they still need to drink. The number of koalas living in one area depends on the number of eucalyptus trees that grow there. If there are more koalas than trees, some of the koalas find other areas where eucalyptus trees grow. So their habitat is the wooded lands around the outside of Australia that have what kind of tree? Eucalyptus. Some people think koalas smell like cough drops because the oil from eucalyptus leaves is used in some types of cold medicine. Most koalas have a home range or a territory where they live. Male koalas mark their home range by rubbing their chest against a tree trunk. Rubbing releases a scented liquid from a gland in the koala's body. When a male smells the scent of another male on a tree, he knows to stay away from that koala's home range. Often females and males live within the same home range. Females mark their territory with urine. You know what urine is? It's your pee. Koalas are strong swimmers, but they swim only when they find it absolutely necessary. So does that mean they like to swim? Nope, they do it only when they have to. Koalas in danger. At one time, koalas were hunted for their thick fur, but now there are laws to protect them from hunters. Today, koalas face other dangers. One of the greatest threats to koalas is the destruction of their habitat, or home. Many eucalyptus trees are cut down by people. Forests are cleared to make room for shopping malls, houses, and roads. Some trees are killed by diseases. Others are burnt in fires. When the eucalyptus trees disappear, the koalas that lived in them are left without a place to live. The loss of eucalyptus trees threatens koalas with starvation as well as homelessness. Even when a koala must find a new area with eucalyptus trees in which to live, it may not eat the leaves of those trees. Most koalas eat only their favorite types of eucalyptus leaves. Forest fires are a really big problem in Australia, and they had a really big, long series of forest fires this year. Protecting koalas. People in special parks called reserves help protect koalas. Reserves provide the animals with food to eat and enough trees in which to live. Hospitals on reserves take in injured and sick koalas. Some koalas are treated and returned to the wild, but others are placed in zoos so more people can learn about them. People can help save koalas and other animals by not destroying the forests in which they live. Words to know. Let's see if you remember some of these. Do you remember what an Aboriginal is? We just read it a couple pages ago. It describes something related to Aborigine or the native people of Australia. So it means original. Arboreal. That's an animal that lives in the trees. So think for a minute of some animals that are arboreal. Like we talked about the squirrels and their drays. Gland, a sac inside the body that produces a liquid. Remember the male has a gland on his chest and he rubs it on the trees to leave his scent. An herbivore. An herbivore is an animal that feeds only on plants. A mammal is a warm-blooded animal that has a backbone. Remember I said you are a mammal. You have hair. You drank milk when you were a baby. And put your hand on your back and feel those bones in your back. That's your backbone or your spine. Marsupial. You are a mammal, but not a marsupial because you don't have a pouch. A family of mammals whose females carry their babies in a pouch or on their back. Minerals. Those are crystals in the soil that are nourishing to plants and animals. Remember it said that the koala has to climb down from the tree and lick the soil to get those minerals. You get them in the fruits and vegetables that you eat. Nocturnal. There was a good word. Do you remember what nocturnal was? Koalas sleep during the day and they're awake at night. So an animal that's awake at night is nocturnal. And one of the reasons they did that is because it's really hot during the day, so it lets them rest while it's hot and then work while it's cooler. Pap. After the baby drinks the mama's milk, the food produced by the mother is a mixture of partly digested eucalyptus leaves. Pap. A predator. A predator is an animal that hunts other animals for food. Do you remember what predator there was to the koala? It's a kind of dog. Dingo. The dingo is the predator to the koala. I'll find that page real quick so you can see. I think I'll find it really quick. Maybe I'll need the index. Nope, here it is. There's the dingo. They're wild dogs. We have foxes and coyotes and wolves here. In Australia, they have dingoes. And one more word to know. Species, a group of animals whose members share similar behavior or appearance. Do you remember how many species of koalas there are? One. There's one species of koala because they share all of these characteristics. But there are 3 subspecies. The northern koala is smaller, and look at the ears, not as furry and a little smaller. And the southern koalas, the Victoria and the New South Wales koalas, look at their ears, furrier, and look at their bodies. Their bodies are bigger. And a different species of marsupial is the kangaroo. Remember this one? Couscous. The narrow-nosed, I can't read it backwards, narrow-nosed planigale. And the common wombat. I hoped you like learning about koalas and why they are not a bear. And the very last animal I mentioned is the next book I'm going to read. It's fiction. This one is nonfiction, so it's real. So that means the fiction book I'm going to read you about the wombat is not real. It's a pretend story. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a great day.